My 4 years of high school have been quite interesting. The first few years of high school, I was very shy and wouldn't talk to anyone besides my friends. My last 2 years, especially senior year, I've become more of a social butterfly, meeting many new peers in my class, which I wish I could have met freshman year. Throughout these 4 years of high school, I wouldn't have succeeded if it weren't for my tutoring center in Concord. The CYC helped me with all my problems I had with my homework. As senior year approached, I figured out that being cool wouldn't feed me in the future, nor would it help me in any way with having a successful career. When all of our parents told us that high school will pass within the blink of an eye, well, they were right. How do we measure the time that we have been in high school? Simply by when the bell is going to ring or when the next break is so we can go talk to our friends. We have also measured our time by grade level. I remember the beginning of sophomore year thinking, when will the school year be over so summer and the World Cup could start? Never as an underclassman did I think I would miss high school for the reasons that many have. Living by ourselves. We'd have to learn how to do laundry, cook, clean, also go on a getaway vacation before our freshman year in college starts. And now we stand here, ready to take the next steps in our lives, open up a new chapter in our book, and become the successful human beings we were raised and nurtured to become.
My name is Muhammad Afzal Paktiani. I am Akbar's grandfather. I went to school in Gardes, Paktia. I finished my elementary school in Gardes, and this was the highest level of school in Paktia. I had to go to Kabul, which was about 120 miles away from home. And we had no choice but to go to the dormitory. And the government at that time was providing the dormitory, all the expenses in the books and so on and so forth. So I went to high school in Kabul, which was called Ibn Sina High School. I graduated from that school, I think it was 1951 or 52, I don't know exactly. Then from there, when I graduated from high school, I went to college. I was picked up to go to university. I was appointed or assigned to the College of Agriculture. It's quite difficult to compare the two systems because with the American system I'm not familiar at all. The only thing I know is that when I have seen some students going to school, going out in and out, that's all I know. And I've talked to some kids about their schooling. But the main difference is that I can assist, I can tell you that the exit between the two systems is in Afghanistan, discipline was very high. Discipline in school was very strict. You go to school, you sit in a class, when the teacher comes, you stand up, say respect to him and sit down. You cannot talk. The only thing you can talk is when you talk to the teacher allow you to talk. You have no guns, no knives, nothing at all of that nature in the schools. So discipline was perfect and everybody was just behaving the way, behaving the way properly, the way you are supposed to behave. One other difference that I assist, I think this existed. Here, the school system is based on elective. You have basic story, classes in a subject elective. In Afghanistan, we didn't have any electives at that time. I think we had about 9 to 10 subjects in each class. And it was not a semester system, it was a full year system. So you start the school at the beginning of the year and end at the final of the exam you finish, then you're done with that grade. So that's the only difference I see, the discipline and the elective system. That I cannot go deeper in that. The funniest part, I don't know where it came from. Dream job, I didn't know it. But even when I was in third grade, I swear to you that I was dreaming that I would go to America. I don't know where did it come from. Why did I that idea? There were no possibilities at all. But that idea was in my mind. And I made my own dictionary and jot down the words, the verbs, English verbs, and memorize them. But other than that, jobs were not that many jobs. I mean, they were not private factories, private offices. The only thing possibility for the job was to become a teacher or get a job at the government offices. That was period, nothing else. So it's not a dream job. And when that was becoming more difficult and difficult. So as I mentioned before, there were not many opportunities that you would select or choose between many possibilities. The only way you go to a college, you're assigned to a college, college of agriculture, college of engineering, college of medicine, and that's your part. That's the job you get. There were not many alternatives that you can choose a job. When you graduate from college, then you look for jobs and choose the best that you fit your needs. It was not so. I went to college of agriculture, and that's the only possibility was to work with the Department of Agriculture. But lucky enough, I worked hard, I studied hard, and our college was affiliated with the Teacher College of Columbia University. So all I said our professors were from America, and I was assigned to the Institute of Education, which was a part of Kabul University. After 2 years working with one of the American professors, I was chosen to go for study to the States. And they picked it up for me. I didn't. I graduated from College of Agriculture. They did that field of sociology for me. And I had no choice. They said you go and study sociology, and I didn't know what sociology was. I went and I studied sociology, and I was sitting with the students of with master degree. They work and made masters, and I had not a single class in sociology. I didn't know what sociology meant, but I worked hard day and night. Finally, in 24 months, I got my master degree in rural sociology, and I went back to Afghanistan and worked with the same institute that they sent me to America for about quite a few years. I was assigned, as I told you before, since lucky enough I studied hard. I worked very hard. Let me show you how hard we worked, how severe was the competition between the students. 3, 4 top students in the class, so each one of us to become the person in the class. You know that anybody who come to the top will go to America. At night, we were living in a dorm, in the bunks, we had bunk beds. So we would sit in bed like that, with they had the sheets. One end of the sheet we'll put it under our head, the other end we'll put it under our knee, pull it. So the book will be sitting here so we can read. The sheet will be up and we can see the light. So we studied that way, so the other guy would not study because but he was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So finally, the 4 students, I think we were separated by points from each other. Not number, the points. 95.5, 95.6, so only very slight differences. I was sitting in my class. That's why I was assigned to the Institute of Education, was a part of Kabul University. And that was no choice. I was second, and I thought I should go there, and I just ended here. So I met my wife when I was teaching at Kabul University, and she was a student there. I saw her, I liked her, we talked to each other, we met, our mind met each other, so I just did a family, and I asked for her, and the family agreed, because they studied my background, my education, my family background, so on and so forth, and I got married. First time since I was the only one working, she was going to school, she was a student, it was tough. But still, we were meeting the ends. We had a small house, not rent, small apartment rent. Money was limited for us, but still we survived. We met our ends as much as we could. But after she graduated from the school, from the college, and she got a job as a teacher, then the combined, income was helping us a lot. John, all the kids did not come at once.
Yeah, throughout the years.
There was this in between,
Yeah.
But the point that we had 2 kids before we got the scholarship, both of us got chance to go to America. After 3, 4 years, I got again another scholarship to go to work for my PhD or whatever. So she went with me to America. We sent our 2 kids, Palwasha, Wajma. So we sent them to Gardez to live with our mother. Our mother took care of them. We went to school in America for 1 year. Atifa worked and I studied. So together, both of us, we saved enough money. I think about $2,500, and went for that money to Afghanistan. That was a good amount of money in Afghanistan at that time. At the same time, before I went to America, I was translating for an American. The kids at college, university kids will write monographs in Farsi, and I will translate for the American so they can assist and evaluate it. That they were giving me good translation. Payment for my translation. And I think I will be not exaggerating if I say that I was making more than my God, about $50 to $60 per day on that job. Day and night I worked. I was getting every month paid, so that was a so super, income. We can spend like crazy. When I will return back from America, only the differences were left about $50,000 they gave me back. 50,000 Afghan, which was about equivalent to $1,000. So that money helped us to buy a piece of land, and still we were not able to start the construction. But crazy enough, I get another scholarship for United Nations, but this time I went to Bangkok. I stayed here. My job was as a research assistant. I did pick up a job. I made a subject in sociology related to the kids in nutrition, and I studied that subject in Indonesia in 2 villages. It took me about 2 months to collect the data, and 3-4 more months to analyze it and write a final report. After 1 year, I came back from Thailand. That time, I brought again about $2,500, $3,000 from Bangkok. So that combined income, we had the land, and we started constructing the house. But my job in Bangkok was so impressed by my job, my accomplishment in Bangkok impressed people who were working with, in the UNICEF people particularly. So when I came back to Afghanistan, they asked me to do another research for them in Afghanistan, UNICEF. I did that research for them, and that money was coming left and right. That was so much I didn't know what to do with it. Most of the time, the university salary I would forget to collect it. I would collect that money for 3 months, 4 months afterwards. So that money was again a good income, and I had no problem meeting the needs in making the construction of my house. In 1952, we completed the construction for a 2-story building. It was in the best location of Kabul, which most people cannot afford to buy a house or to buy a piece of land in that area. So we had a good life. Well, I've been in your position. I'm too old for that to think even about it, But I just met one Afghan kid. He was working in Ross, young, beautiful young guy. And I said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "You don't belong here. You belong to books. You belong to the library." Here, they said, don't worry about what your watch or your chain in your neck. In America, we call it. There's a concept.